Hi, everyone. This is Anthony Salcido, Vice President of Education at Microsoft. Thank you so much for joining this session on empowering students to be future ready. This is a session that is super relevant now as we're trying to get students to harness their talents and skills to align to a changing workplace and world, but also to leverage their talents to make a real difference. Students now embracing these challenging times that we're living in have a much clearer connection to the world around them and how we can apply tools like science and technology to help the greater good. I'm hopeful that this session will give you practical tools and tips, as well as resources that you can leverage with your students going forward, and some ideas that we're reflecting on across the world of change we see in education. I'm also grateful that I can spend some time with you today at ISTE to have an opportunity to do something that is absolutely necessary, and I'm hoping you're hearing this in every single session at this event, is thank you for the work that you've done in a year of tremendous change and challenge. I have been humbled to see examples and excellent experiences that educators are delivering for their students. Educators that have embraced change and learned how to harness the power of technology on remote and hybrid learning. I really have to thank you for the work that you've done as heroes across our society. And I'm hopeful when we've put COVID and the pandemic behind us and we properly and recognize the great scientists and nurses and doctors that help with the pandemic, that we recognize the amazing role that educators have played. I think this is an opportunity for us to really up-level the profession. And I know many parents who got a chance to see your work firsthand on the kitchen table have a deeper appreciation and understanding of the work that you do every day. And it's in that context that I want to really reflect on really bringing new experiences to your learners. We've seen examples of educators embracing opportunity to harness the individual experiences to help students not only take advantage of their own skills and talents to apply technology and tools to solving challenges, but harnessing a far broader mix of modalities and pedagogy for learning. This is going to be part of the new normal as we embrace hybrid learning going forward and extend the boundaries and borders of the learning environment beyond the school and classroom. Thank you for not only partnering with your students to bring new innovations to learning, but partnering with other educators like we have here at ISTE to share best practices and examples. We also have to reflect that students today are learning and experiencing the ways in which they use technology and tools very similarly to the way in which the world of work happens every single day. As I get a chance to present and meet virtually with school leaders and teachers, I often reflect on the way in which I'm working mirrors the way in which not only they're working with their students, but the way in which students are learning, working on projects collaboratively going forward. And it's with that connection that we've got to recognize that the role of you as an educator and the work that we're doing in students is so critical to parallel to the world of work and the opportunities ahead for your learners. We see this as an opportunity to, just with the way in which we use remote learning and video conferencing, the way in which students are building projects. We also have to recognize as we build skills for the future, we've got to create schools that increasingly are made for everyone, that are inclusive, accessible, that understand the value of bringing individuals together across all the boundaries and inequities that we often struggle with in schools. We also have to recognize that we've got to build skills that are needed in the modern workplace, that students that come out of school understanding how to build and value relationships, that they're able to reflect on their talents and skills and what they've learned to apply it to making change possible. And they certainly understand the importance of being a risk taker and being resilient with that learning grit to go forward. We certainly understand that there's a core range of C skills that we've got to embrace as we go forward. The standard C's, communication, creativity, collaboration, things that you valued for certainly many, many years, with new C's. An understanding of the importance of computational thinking and coding, the importance of content curation and aggregation to the right learning environments, as well as the importance of understanding culture and caring. How do we get students to be sensitive to the world around them and the needs of others? These are the values that I think the world of work will require as we go forward, but certainly what you can do to bring your energy to your students every single day and get them on track for future jobs and careers. At Microsoft, we certainly built a mission across the work that we do, across everything we do in education, to help you empower your students to achieve more. And we work every day across the range of technologies to give you a tool set to provide experiences to students at any age to harness their talents, to apply their skills, get connected to the workplace, and understand the role of technology as a tool for them to extend their value and impact. Now, one of the things I want to do in this session is help break it down for you, because I know many of you may have seen or get inundated with lots and lots of different Microsoft technologies. One of the things that I've done on this slide is highlight all of the range of tools that we have for students across the continuum on early education all the way through career and college ready and certainly employment ready students. I want to start with tools across the spectrum, but recognize that students are different, and a lot of these tools will be used for students of all different ages. But I want to start with a couple that you may be aware of to help you guide through the transition. The first one I want to start with is the Computer Science Toolkit. This is your resource to learn about the different experiences and how you can leverage computer science in your classroom. And when I think of computer science, it's not a computer science locked in a computer science class or with a computer science teacher only. It's understanding the impact of computer science across every discipline of every learning style. If students are interested in art or poetry, how do you think about technology's role to help you extend the value and impact that you can make on society? We've got to bring that lens and experience to every learner. Now, one of the tools I want to start with is the value of MakeCode. Now, MakeCode, in many ways, it's the first computer language for students, building on the foundation of block programming and editing that students are very familiar with. This is a tool to allow students to not only learn block editing, the importance of scope and sequence and basic programming algorithms, but also understanding the importance of Visual Basic. And one of the great things about MakeCode is you can toggle between block editing and Visual Basic on the fly to give students not only an understanding of coding, but understanding the ways in which what they're doing with MakeCode has a real impact on languages like Visual Basic. We also see tools in MakeCode like MakeCode Arcade, which gives a great experience for students to learn how to code through the experience of making a game. And we've got some amazing examples, and one really inspiring one is from the students at Scottsdale Christian Academy, who not only won Best of Show with a computer science contest that they participated in, but one of the judges that judged them asked if they can make their game inclusive for their School of Inclusive Learners and accessible need learners. And not only did they take their game, they were able to deliver it to students with special needs. A great example of not only the power of coding, but the importance of students really understanding the importance of accessibility and inclusivity as we go forward. Building on the amazing experiences of MakeCode is something that is used by classrooms all around the world. I always have the pleasure when I visit classrooms that are using Minecraft Education Edition of hearing from students, sharing their excitement about the projects they're building. And Minecraft Education Edition not only includes MakeCode as a tool to build and create worlds, but really creates a true open canvas for students to create, play, explore, leveraging skills like resilience and creativity. Students that are planning and thoughtful about what they're trying to build and creating worlds that can actually give us an opportunity to reflect on the world around us. There's a great experience that we just had with New York City Public Schools called the Battle of the Boroughs. And as someone from the Bronx, New York, I was proud to see the work that was done by students across New York City, reflecting on how their boroughs can become more sustainable and inclusive. Using Minecraft as a way to help city planners envision the ways in students are bringing their creativity to the experience of the city. So let's take a look at some of the amazing experiences from the Battle of the Boroughs in this next video.
Welcome to Battle of the Boroughs. Today's students are going to be competing in Minecraft Education today. It is a really, really special tournament. Basically, for each round, to break down how this is going to work for you guys, students have been given a prompt and they're drawn from the UN Sustainable Development Goals and the New York City's One NYC 2050 strategic plan. And these students, they had to identify an issue and build a solution in Minecraft Education Edition that will have a positive impact for New York City's future.
The prompt here, the challenge that these teams have, is to design a new element that will foster innovation to
add to the city's infrastructure.
I don't know about you, but I wish I had this in school. I think I would have been all over this.
Oh, I would have been all over this indeed. I mean, I feel I was maybe just a couple of years late on missing this one, but I love the idea of, I've always been a fan of using video games to teach kids because it's obviously something they enjoy, it's something they love and can be proud of, and when you kind of add that educational layer to it, it's just, it can add so much to the development of a student. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the choice has been made by the judges, so I think we're going to throw it over there and find out who's won.
So the judges have deliberated, and we have a winner for the first ever inaugural New York City Battle of the Boroughs, and both teams should be really proud of their bills.
We are thrilled to announce that the Manhattan Marauders are the winners of the first ever Battle of the Boroughs. Congratulations!
Yes!
Congratulations once again to the Manhattan Marauders. That is going to conclude the Battle of the Boroughs with the NYC Department of Education.
Wow, that was awesome stuff. I'm so proud of the great work the students did across New York City on the Battle of the Boroughs, and I hope that you're inspired to do similar things in your own community. Leverage Minecraft as a tool to help students reflect on various things that they're passionate about, bring students together, and leverage the power of esports to provide a compelling event that students can get energized and excited to participate in. Microsoft has made it easier for you to leverage Minecraft Education Edition as a tool for esports with our Make and Model series that are available in the Microsoft Educator Center. You can download worlds as well as learning materials on how you can use esports in your classroom. I've had a chance to participate in some esports challenges with students and seen some amazing work. I encourage you to take a look at these experiences and give us feedback on how esports is making a real impact in your classroom. Now, building on the examples from MakeCode and Minecraft Education Edition, I want to reflect on what we all recognize we need to do across society. That's get students to understand how to build the skills and connect with the skills needed for a changing and rapidly changing workplace. Certainly, as we think about advanced technologies like cloud, AI, the importance of blockchain, the arrival of quantum computing, there's a world of technology that students need to be prepared for. Microsoft has made it easy with Microsoft Learn. Learn is a one-stop shop where students can get access to the curriculum and courses, learning materials and resources to prepare for future careers, to understand how to harness advanced technologies. We've also provided Learn with resources for educators where you can use Learn in the classroom to prepare you to help your students get access to the technology, careers, and learning pathways they need. I'd love to show you more, so let's talk a little bit about Learn. So here's Learn. The best place to get started is here on the Learn for Students homepage, which has a collection of curated courses designed specifically for students. And up at the top of the page, you can browse all student modules, where you then have the ability to refine courses further by product, role, and level. You can see these are already filtered by student as a role, and we can refine that further by selecting courses linked to Azure and for beginners. And then you can see the resulting modules here. We also have lots of courses around space exploration at the Learn in Space homepage. And these courses are designed to ignite students' passion to learn about technology with fun, relevant learning in partnership with NASA and Netflix Over the Moon, challenging students to get started with Python, Visual Studio Code, and exploring custom vision. Here we have a module that will guide students through planning a moon mission using Python Pandas. And you can see the learning objectives and prerequisites for the course and topic areas. We also have some amazing collections of introductory courses with Introduction to Programming, Data, Emerging Technologies, and getting started on things like GitHub. If we look at the Emerging Technologies pathway, this would be the AI course, where they can consolidate their learning about AI, machine learning, and natural language processing, with engaging learning modules and real-life examples. All modules have a knowledge check at the end, so students can test their understanding of the subject. So in this example, I know if I wanted to create a model to predict sales of ice cream based on historic data, I would use Azure Machine Learning. If I wanted to train a model to classify images based on my own digital photographs, the service I would use would be Custom Vision. And then if I was using an AI application that uses custom vision to detect cracks in windscreens, the statement I would use for my app interface would be at the top one here. And because I got all of them right, I earn experience points that get added to my profile. And I earn badges for every completed module and trophies for every learning path. I hope you can leverage the resources from Microsoft Learn for yourself and your students going forward, and check back often for new resources that are updated all the time. One of the ones that I'm excited about is Microsoft's work in partnership with the release of Space Jam: A New Legacy. Now, do you know basketball and coding have a lot more in common than you may think? They both require creativity, practice, and great coaching. And Microsoft has worked with Space Jam: A New Legacy to create great lessons and workshops applying machine learning, artificial intelligence, coding, and web design that you can take advantage of. Look for the lessons that you can apply, and a great summer activity that you may want to challenge your students aligned with the summer release of a Space Jam: A New Legacy. That's part of the great resources Microsoft Learn is providing for you, and certainly will continue to update them as we go forward. So I've had a chance to reflect on a tool, Microsoft Learn, that you can go to get access to resources, curriculum, pathways for learning. Tools like Minecraft Education Edition to help students reimagine their future. And certainly tools like MakeCode, which can provide a great foundational tool to understand the basics of coding and programming. But really the most important thing is to start with student mindset and bring student agency to the work going forward. We need students who understand the importance and power of technology, but we really need students who can unlock their own creativity, their talents and passions to make a meaningful difference on society and world. We need students who understand now with tools like cloud and AI that they can have a real impact on solving fundamental challenges that we face across society. Students that see purposeful connection between what they're learning and what they can do and achieve in their life. And we've got to make sure that that's true across every student in your classroom going forward. This is the work that we must do together to show examples of what technology can do to help inspire students to do far more going forward. One example we've done is Microsoft Imagine Cup Junior. This is a program that helps students apply the power of artificial intelligence for good. The Imagine Cup Junior Challenge gives an opportunity for you as an educator to give your students an opportunity to think about things that they care about, that they're passionate about, to make a difference in the world using AI and technology. And to help us share a little bit more about the impact Imagine Cup Junior is having, I am super blessed to be able to be joined by three awesome individuals. Please welcome from St. Paul Catholic High School in Connecticut, Miss Clark, Lila, and Alicia. Thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you very much. I'm Mrs. Clark. I teach at St. Paul Catholic in Bristol, Connecticut. I'm teaching the math and statistics, data analytics, and I'm coaching the team that is the data analytics team that these girls were part of.
Well, you all should be incredibly proud of the work that you've done. And Lila and Alicia, I love your project, and I really want you to share a little bit about Abby and the impact that you've had in Imagine Cup Junior.
Okay, I'll go first. Hello, everyone. My name is Alicia. I am joining with Lila, and we, over the summer, participated in the Imagine Cup Junior, which is a global competition where you enter an idea to make a difference in the world and see it come to light. Our project was Abby, which is the Autism Buddy Band for Youth. And as instructed in the name, it is a device that helps people with autism understand emotions, both of their own as well as of others. We decided to create Abby because there are hundreds of thousands of people out in the world with autism who don't really have the cognitive and social skills to communicate their potential outward. And seeing that, we wanted to play a part in helping adolescents who are at that time in their lives where they are developing these skills to really give them that push to be able to go out and express their potential outward.
Thank you so much, Alicia. And Lila, I'd love to learn from you. I know that you're excited about the potential of AI and AI's maybe future in your studies and education, but actually how you can use AI to change some big things that we're facing in the world, like you've done with Abby. Can you share a little bit about your reflection on the power of AI and what you hope to do with it going forward?
So there's so much you can do with AI. You can solve so many real-world problems. Like when we were brainstorming for the Imagine Cup, Alicia and I went through a bunch of different ideas we had We started with fire safety. We started with and helping people with disabilities. And you can take AI anywhere to help people with so many problems. And when I going to college and studying, I want to try and help people with AI and work with coding and computer science, because that's kind of my interest and passions.
That's great. And applying it to causes for good, like helping others, is absolutely a great sign of the impact that we can have going forward. It starts with amazing educators bringing these experiences to you. And Mrs. Clark, I love your reflection on bringing tools like machine learning and AI to your classroom. That's a big challenge for other educators. And I love your feedback on why you decided to bring these experiences to your students.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're super thankful that we had this opportunity to do it. It's almost like when COVID struck, everything kind of came apart. But luckily, this opportunity was there, and the students jumped right into it and allowed us to kind of explore areas that you don't really, up to this point in time, I did not have in my classroom. So it's been eye-opening. It's been cathartic. I've been able to see these kids grow in ways that I would never anticipate. It's definitely going to be something that I'm bringing. Now, I'm not a CS teacher, but I've brought more and more into my classroom because of this competition. And the kids are taken off with it. It's like it's something that they see the power, and they get to see the results right away. They don't have to wait and see. They can come up with an idea and get going on it and see potential. So it's remarkable. And I would say for any educator to look into this competition and others like it, where it's kind of paced out for you. I was always saying it was so wonderful to have a rubric. Kids are always looking for rubrics, but teachers are also looking for rubrics. So we kind of knew where to go, especially since it was uncharted for not only me, but the kids, but especially me, because I'm not, computer science. So I think it's an amazing way to engage your students, to inspire them, and to get the underrepresented students there. We have 2 great girls here now heading into STEM fields. It's a win-win all the way around.
Yeah, it's just an example.
Only going to grow. Yeah.
It's an example of what's possible. And I love the fact that you're not a computer science educator, but embracing these dynamics. In fact, that's the way we should teach computer science, as a tool to do things across all of the disciplines in our classes. And I love your feedback or advice to other educators who may have trepidation on embracing these types of things, and on how they should and go forward and make the next step.
Yeah, I mean, I seriously am saying that because I'm math and stats, I didn't have enough exposure with the computer science end of it. But we really, you find an excellent organized project to get into, like this one, and you get one student who's good at managing, and that was Alicia for sure. She got everybody lined up, and you can do this even when you're not learning, you don't know the code or anything. You can really push forward and bring these into the classroom and be pretty surprised with what you learn and what they take away. It's very interesting, and I'm really excited to see where these things go.
That's awesome. And Alicia and Lila, it sounds like you were leaders at St. Paul Catholic. And I'd love to hear from you on advice that you can give to all the educators watching here at ISTE on what students like you care about as it relates to AI, and how other educators can bring these experiences. What does it mean for you? And maybe advice you'd give to educators watching.
Yes. So personally for me, when I was in middle school, I always wanted to go into STEM. But the problem was I always saw STEM to be one-dimensional and not applicable to the real world. I always thought of it as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Did not see any real-world application anyway. However, when I got to St. Paul and found that there was a math team and a data analytics team, I joined because I wanted to further this passion, thinking still that it would be one-dimensional. However, when I got to St. Paul and started understanding how different statistics could be applied to real-world applications, it really changed the way I looked at not only STEM, but the world. How, if someone is good at coding, they can play a crucial part in a team coding something to help people, in our case, with disabilities, something that has been personally a big part of my life, as my brother has autism and a very rare autoimmune disorder. Seeing the way that something that I already loved could be applied to and helping someone who is, I guess, in the same case as me somewhere else in the world was unimaginable, to say the least. And with that, I would like to give the advice to always push not only the material in the classroom and in extracurriculars, but also the way that it could be applicable. Because personally, for me, that's what really caught my interest, wanted me to pursue growing the data analytics team at our school, as well as the exposure we have to real world applications.
Thanks so much for your reflections. It's clear you've done a lot, and I'm looking forward to what you all will do going forward. Mrs. Clark, the work that you're going to do in future classes. Alicia and Lila, I know you're going to have a bright future ahead solving problems with technology. Thank you so much for sharing your feedback here at ISTE, and thanks for being a part of Imagine Cup Junior.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With great students like Alicia and Lila, I'm sure that we have the power and potential to change the world. All of that talent in your classrooms needs to be unleashed to help students leverage their passion and potential to solve some of the world's greatest challenges. We're excited, based on the enthusiasm and response on Imagine Cup Junior, to announce the next series of challenges that you can apply in the classroom. Stay tuned for more. You can also refer to this Microsoft Computer Science Curriculum Toolkit to get access to all the resources and learning materials you're going to need to make these experiences and tools real for your students as you approach the next school year. And whether we're hybrid, face-to-face, the power of impacting student potential and changing mindset on how students embrace and expect more from their future is going to be critical going forward. You've got a lot of options and lots of materials, but Microsoft is trying to make it easier and easier for you to leverage these experiences with your students. I also want to reflect on a last opportunity to thank you for the work that you've done and certainly will do going forward. We have an opportunity to create more flexible, personal learning experiences to help every single learner achieve more. I want to thank you for the work that you have done and will do going forward. And I want to embrace the next school year as an opportunity to fundamentally transform education across the United States and across the world. We have an opportunity to reimagine what's possible in and out of our classrooms, and thank you for the work that you do to lead the way.